anything else, if you're short of a conversation, he would have looked up the Herald online and kept a track of your favourite sports team and debriefed you. If it's gone well, it's good because he's building your team up, and then if it's not so well, he's asking you to break the game down play by play and explain to him why they haven't gone so well.
Now, when Pete and Alice first met, Pete was very quiet about the whole thing. I assume everyone else in the same room, in the room would think the same, right? He didn't mention much. We didn't hear about it. And then one weekend, Alice came up to see us up in Thames. And she was excited because she's obviously from Thames, we spent a lot of time in Thames. So they came up to see us. Now, once we had met you, Alice, Kathy and I both realised that you were the perfect person for Pete. Your strengths complement Pete's weaknesses, and Pete's strengths complement your weaknesses. And I think we can all agree that you two are definitely made for each other. It's one of these things where I don't think that I've seen two people as perfectly matched as you two. And I really mean that, Pete. This is the one for you, mate, so hang on. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of lessons that I had for both of you. Number one, Pete, when manscaping, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Number two, if you've done well at cricket, the classic high five or a pat on the back is enough, okay? Alice, please, every Christmas, purchase Pete a fresh pair of undies. Because at the stag do, there was a little game that we played called the Undy 500. And Pete got down to his boxes, and they were, how would you describe them?
They needed a lot more support.
They were hanging on by a thread. So your Christmas presents are done for life. Lesson number 4, hold each other in the good times. And lesson 5, love each other in the hard times.
Best man number 10 stepping in again. So here's some more relationship advice, and we've named this one Stevie G's 3 C's. So the first one is compliment each other, because you never know how each other's day's gone, and when you come in, make sure you start off with a compliment. The next one is check in with each other, and this was one of the key pieces of advice that I took on when I became a newlywed, was just ask each other what a highlight, a low light and grateful light was from your time on that day, and make sure it's something that you don't know, you haven't done together, so you can actually learn about how each other's day's gone. And the final one is compromise, and it's probably one of the most important ones, and it's something that I've loved to see you guys do early on in your relationship, right through to the other day when we got to New Year's Day. And Pete, you could tell, was a little hesitant in asking whether he could come and watch the Black Caps first day against Bangladesh. And it was like, without question, you're like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, what else could you be doing? Helping me plan the wedding? Cool. But compromise, always really important, and is something you guys have done so well. And with that in mind, I actually prepared a bit of a present for you guys. With Alice originally coming over from England and Pete being from New Zealand. And of course Pete being a man with dates, because you guys met on the 7th of October, I made you guys a shirt with the Black Caps and the England cricket side. Might be a bit small for you guys, but... And And this next part's probably the most challenging part, and one of the most challenging things I know I've had to do personally. But ever since my wedding, which we had over in England, Pete did a haka for myself and Ali, and so we're going to give it a crack. It's going to be a little different. Like you've got a white guy and an Asian fella from Gizzy, so he's a little bit more rough and tumble. We're actually going to do also a local haka from, it's called Monganui, and if anyone else knows it, feel free to come up and join in because some numbers are always good. If not, don't worry, me and my boy Masa, we got this sorted.
Shirts off for the girls.
I don't know if you want that. I don't know if you received the update while we're out and about. You got one token.
Hey? One token?
That's one. Oh, actually two, because there's one at the seat when you came too.
Oh, that
So, 2 beers on pizza. Hopefully you guys all have a half a beer left or something left. I'd like you all just to stand up. Raise your half or hopefully full beer. To Mr. and Mrs. Hofstede, I'm glad all your dreams have come true.
Thanks to the best man, number 7 and 10, that was really fantastic. Next is someone I know is very special to Alice. It's going to be her maid of honour, Rachel.
From dance straight to me. Hello everyone, my name is Rachel and I'm a maid of honour today. I have known Alice since 2008, so it's now been 12 years. I wanted to tell the bride and the groom that how absolutely spectacular you look today. I don't think I've ever seen a better looking couple, except maybe for me and my husband. He's not here at the moment. Thank you for organizing the great wedding, Alice and Peter's family, and the visitors who are here to bless this newly married couple tonight. Alice is the kindest person that I have never met. I can remember the first time we met. It was at the Feio Polytechnic Tauranga. I was recovering from my leg injury from the traffic accident. And my leg was hurt and my mind was in pain too. Alice was beside me, waiting for a lift to come. And we realized we were in the same lecture room on the day. We started to have conversation, and from then on, we became best friends. Alice is a good listener. Every time when I was with Alice, I felt my mind and leg were healing by her pure soul. Alice's parents are great too. After I met them, I knew where her loveliness came from. I have a restaurant on the Strand, and one day, Alice brought a handsome man, Peter. Peter smiled, and his smile was pure like Alice. I could feel he is the one for Alice. They looked happy together, and Alice was laughing a lot with Peter. To be with the person who makes you laugh and happy is the most important thing in the marriage life, I reckon. This couple definitely made each other happy. When we had a wedding rehearsal yesterday, they were smiling and kissed each other a lot. And that makes me laugh and happy too. They are a perfect match. The greatness about love and marriages is learning to grow together, caring and sharing, and lots of tenderness, and maybe a bit of patience, or maybe even a lot. Corinthians in the Bible, chapter 13 and verse 7 says, "Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstances." And in Romans chapter 12, verse 10 declares, "Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves."